In tonight's headlines, an online second-hand marketplace is criticized for failing to protect the personal data of over 300,000 Hong Kong users. The sister-in-law of former lawmaker Lee Cheuk-yan is jailed for perverting the course of justice. And the Housing Authority approves a plan to redevelop Choi Hung Estate.
Over 320,000 Hong Kong users of Carousel, a popular online second-hand marketplace, have been affected by a data breach, according to the Privacy Commissioner. Carousel found that the personal information of its 2.6 million global users had been put on sale on the dark web last year. These included photos, email addresses, and mobile phone numbers. Hong Kong's privacy watchdog slammed Carousel for taking 9 months to discover the leak.
I would advise all affected users to be vigilant about any suspicious calls or email messages, and to be vigilant about phishing emails or phishing calls. If necessary, they should check their bank accounts from time to time as well. And I do believe that they should also change their password in the first place.
Carousel was ordered to formulate new policies to protect data and submit a report to the Privacy Commissioner in 2 months. The watchdog also noticed a rise in the number of complaints about human resource management. It slammed the hospital authority for improperly disclosing staff information after a supervisor in Kwong Wah Hospital forwarded a subordinate's message that mentioned his illness to a chat group. A supervisor of boutique Christian Louboutin Asia also sent a colleague's medical certificate to 2 work-related groups without consent. Chung warned that employers should not disclose their staff's physical condition to other workers. She also criticized Star Entertainment and An Yut Health and Beauty for misusing their former employees' phone numbers and addresses. Maisie Mok, Cable News.
Marilyn Tang, the sister-in-law of former opposition legislator Lee Cheuk-yan, was driven to West Kowloon Magistracy in a prison van this morning. The 63-year-old pleaded guilty earlier this month to perverting the course of justice when National Security Police arrested Lee's wife back in March. Tang was accused of going to the Lee Cheuk-yan home of her eldest sister Elizabeth twice to take away evidence, including a computer, mobile phone, and documents, before police searched the premises. In handing down judgment, Magistrate Zheng Hing-tong said it was not a petty case and imprisonment was inevitable. But he noted that Marilyn Tang had contributed to social welfare by taking up various tasks and was determined to help the grassroots. The magistrate said her act did not have any impact on her sister's case. That was because there was no proof that she had destroyed evidence, and police had not found any criminal information in the electronic devices. Taking into consideration the defendant's active participation in social work and her clean record, Zhang took a starting point of 9 months in prison and reduced it to 6 months. I hope she can hang in there, her sister Elizabeth said as she left court. Elizabeth Tang is a former chief executive of the now-dissolved Confederation of Trade Unions. She is accused of colluding with foreign forces and was granted bail. Janice Low, Cable News. The Housing Authority has approved a plan to redevelop Choi Hung Estate, one of the city's oldest public housing projects. The tenants of its 7,400 units will be relocated to Mae Tung Estate, which is also in Wong Tai Sin. They will also be given priority in purchasing subsidized flats in Wang Chiu Road Phase 2. The 3-phase Choi Hung Estate redevelopment is expected to take 15 years and will provide 9,200 flats, 1,800 more than at present. Housing Minister Winnie Ho said tenants will be given a moving subsidy.
In Mae Tung Estate, we have 2,860 units, so there should be more than enough for the first phase, together with Wangjiu Road, which they can buy as a subsidized sales flat. There is 1,467 units, and there is much more than enough for the first phase. For the businesses, they have the priority to bid for other shopping arcades in newly developed public housing estates in other areas.
A team that will work on the design of the redevelopment is expected to retain the estate's unique characteristics and improve transportation in the district. Despite being the coldest day so far this winter, a number of people did their regular morning exercise, albeit with more layers of clothing. Today's temperature was predicted to drop to a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius in urban areas. But at the observatory's headquarters in Tsim Sha Tsui, the mercury fell to 9.8 degrees. It was even colder in the New Territories. The observatory expects the city's urban temperature tomorrow morning to plunge to 8 degrees, and a couple of degrees lower in the north as Hong Kong marks the winter solstice.
A Palestinian boy and his sister were inconsolable at a mortuary in Gaza as they said goodbye to their father for the last time. The man was praying in a mosque in the southern town of Rafah when he was killed in an Israeli airstrike. Why have you left us? Why? His son asked. An understaffed and under-equipped hospital in Rafah continued to treat Palestinians wounded by Israeli airstrikes. At least 20,000 Palestinians have been killed since early October after Israel retaliated for a deadly Hamas raid. As Palestinians mourned, the United States said serious talks are underway on a ceasefire, but Hamas is insisting on a complete halt to Israel's offensive.
Opposition lawmakers in India have accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of sabotaging democracy. They protested in the capital New Delhi after 141 legislators from the upper and lower houses were suspended. Action was taken against them after they raised concerns about security in parliament. The opposition also criticized the speed at which bills were passed.
My Prime Minister goes abroad and says that he comes from a land which is mother of democracy. And he is instrumental in killing the same mother. I mean, have you ever heard anywhere in the parliament, anywhere, all over the world, that important bills are passed in 5 minutes, 6 minutes? That's the signature statement of this Modi government. We are here not only to talk about our suspension. The larger issue is democracy is being assassinated.
Argentina's new right-wing president, Javier Milei, has launched sweeping measures to revive the economy and tame inflation, currently at 140%. His shock therapy includes scrapping a law that regulates rent and paving the way for the privatization of state enterprises. The measures angered many Argentines, 40% of whom live in poverty. A protest in the capital Buenos Aires led to clashes with police. Although Milei was elected by voters fed up with the state of the economy, many fear that his initiative, which includes a 50% devaluation of the peso, is extreme.
Inspectors from Japan's Transport Ministry went to the headquarters of Daihatsu in Osaka for further checks on the car manufacturer. This came after an investigation found that most of its vehicles were not properly tested for safety. Daihatsu has stopped shipments of its cars. There have been no reports of casualties as a result of the company's failure, but the findings have hurt the reputation of Japan's auto industry.